Okay, so watching meta here. I'm gonna give myself a dollar stop loss. So really awesome breakdown trade here this morning on meta. We had a really nice reversal candle and then a volume divergence reversal at the upper end of its Bollinger Band. So now price action here looked a little bit exhausted as indexes were turning over and looked for an entry short. All right. Didn't get a full fill yet. But I am short, guys, and I'm short from 311.71. I've not gotten a full fill yet. I got about 4/5 of my position filled. About 4/5 of my position. Maybe not enough liquidity, Brian. Like it only touched my price briefly, right? So it gave me whatever was available at that price, and then you can't just sell me shares that aren't for sale. Okay, there we go. Now I have a full fill. So I think watching this back a little bit, not getting a full fill initially, definitely made me a little bit nervous later on in this trade. Took a little bit of time for this sort of breakdown to develop, or at least it didn't get like immediate follow through here to the downside. And I think not being able to get that immediate entry kind of spooked me a little bit. So I'm glad I held on and trusted the plan. But it's definitely something I need to be conscious of going forward. I'd say I've been super enthused by that reaction. I didn't want to see Tesla necessarily break out above that 251. Yeah, so the DTR signals, the DTR entry zones, that's still a work in progress. But yeah, you can use that. It'll be available hopefully by the end of the week. And then the signals, just send me an email and I'll fire that your way. It only works in trading view though. Okay, see this thing start to break down here a little bit. Honestly, not too disappointed with that entry. Let's see if this thing can break. Volume divergence reversal entries are always a little bit nervy. I think is a nice way of describing it. Like, I feel like that's good cooperation, right? Oh, let's see this thing break. Okay, 20 cents here. Come on, Meta. Let's go. Sorry, I was just saying, guys, right? My stop loss here now is at my entry price. right? I'm not going to allow this to turn into a red trade here. It took a little bit of work for us to actually get that breakdown to that first profit target, and I kind of felt like the anxiety was building a little bit in me on that trade. So I'm not going to allow basically that anxiety to now turn into greed, into thinking that I'm going to get monster follow through here on this setup. So I'm just going to be a little bit proactive here and just make sure that I'm kind of protecting myself from the worst version of myself. So it took a little bit longer for me to get that sort of, first initial risk off. So generally in those situations, I end up making kind of nervous Nelly decisions, and kind of, get too greedy and, kind of do something stupid. So I'm not going to do that here today, right? I'm going to protect myself, make sure I finish green on this trade, and let's see if we can get some further follow through, right? If I can get towards 308 or something like that, that would be epic. But I don't need to do anything too crazy. Don't need to do anything too aggressive. I just want to see how much further P&L I can make on this trade. Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're okay here. I don't particularly have like too many concerns, but at the same time, right, we kind of played a big picture idea here a little bit more to a certain extent, and the timing wasn't, perfect. So there's just a few things here, right, that are a little bit, I'm not gonna say counter trend. That's not the right way to describe it, but it's like a little bit new, right? And so that always just creates a little bit of extra anxiety. But I feel really good with the thesis. Followed the trend, right? The daily trend, found a good entry, found a good reversal, found extended price action. Kind of adapted a little bit to take advantage of market conditions. I like how the spreads tightened up too, right? That definitely adds a little bit of an extra layer of confidence. I mean, Apple still breaking down, right? Should get under 180 here pretty soon. Nvidia selling off, right? If you can get under 430, that would be awesome. So we'll see. Oh, the spread in general, it can be option or just normal spread, is the difference between the bid and the ask. So it's the price at which buyers are buying at and the price at which sellers are selling at. And so market makers basically make money based off the spread for matching buyers and sellers. So the more liquidity you have, the more participants you have, generally the tighter the spread becomes, which means you get a more consistent price action, you get more consistent fills. Because it's less work for market makers to find a participant. Don't pull back here, Meta. Come on, just break down, you sicko. Well, it's going to be dependent on each specific security, right? But if you're like, when I traded options, I generally never wanted it to be more than 2% of whatever the option price was. Generally, when I'm trading like stocks, like 30 cents, 30, 40 cents on Meta would be about as much as I'd be willing to accept. So when you see it kind of like between 5 and 15 cents, that's kind of a little bit smoother, a little bit nicer. We were seeing it maybe more like 25, 30 at the start of the trade. I don't know if there's like necessarily a set rule here I have. I would say it's more of just a feel thing. So now let's see if we can keep getting some further follow through here, guys. Right, we survived that pullback attempt. So that's kind of good confirmation that our entry was actually kind of legit. So next profit target here is going to be just above 310, right? So as we creep up towards that level, maybe like, we'll call it like 310.20-ish. Take some off. And I'll take off enough so I have about half of my original position left at that point. Yeah, guys, hopefully you're all now nicely green on the week, right? putting yourselves in good situations where you're one trade away from a really nice week. At least for those of you who didn't catch NVIDIA yesterday, right? So congratulations to everyone who's in this. Hopefully you're all banking on here now. And at this point, right, you have zero excuses to let this trade go red. I'd be furious at you if you did. So please make sure you're trimming your position, managing your exposure on the way down or as your P&L is increasing instead of as it's pulling back, right? So I don't want to be panicking and getting slippage and eating into my wins. I want to be disciplined and respectful of my sort of process and make sure that I'm scaling out as my P&L is increasing, right? Not as it's decreasing. Decreasing is a worst case scenario, right? Getting stopped out protecting entry is a worst case scenario when I'm in a winning trade. I want to be making sure that I'm making that win bigger, not making that win smaller, right? The only way to consistently make your win bigger is to lock in chunks of your win. I didn't need to for this context, John, because I could use the DTR entry zones, which gave me the same thing here, right? So the DTR entry zones give me or identify the 4-to-1 risk reward ratio towards low of day. So I knew that anywhere basically inside that area was going to give me the appropriate risk reward that I was going to be happy to trade. So I was already inside an area where I was inside that spot, right? So if I map those out here already, right, they're pretty much exactly the same level for when I am using when my stop loss is high a day, right? So when my stop loss is high a day or low of day, it's going to be the same spot essentially. So I can just save myself an extra step. When my stop loss needs to be like if this was my confirmation candle, right? Then I'd be mapping it out with my stop loss here. And then I'd be looking for an entry around this 309.26 for a move towards that 311.60. Then that would give me the right thing. But with this setup, my map out was a little bit different. But that's a really good question. Sorry if I didn't explain that well in the moment. Okay, so about 15 cents, right, for my next profit target. Being a little bit of a stubborn one here today, but let's see if it can break. Yeah, we're in meta short here from 311.71 up about $1 a share. I don't like this pullback too much here. Just the top of this trade really made me work just the whole way down. And I think even at this point, even though I'm like protecting entry at this point, I think I'm still carrying a little bit of anxiety from just that little bit of an early entry. And so you can see that kind of compounding later in the trade. See if it's got legs. I'd love to be able to just get to 2R, have a nice day, make myself an affogato or something. So let's get there. What I'm cheering for. Okay, come on, meta. Anyone still in this with me? Anyone crazy enough to take it? Nice work, Greg. Let's go. Love that. What was your entry price? Oh, very good. Yeah, fair enough, Jared. Fair enough. Still not a bad fill. Still practically up $1 a share. So that's fine. But yeah, I would say try to not get into the habit of using those market orders, right? Same process for every trade, right? Every execution is the exact same thing. Apologies. My bad there, John. I'm sorry. Well done, Rusty. Well done. Yeah, so if you send a market order without a stop loss attached, it's going to cancel it. And it's one of those trades that feels like it's going to take all day to give me the follow through. But that's the beautiful thing about trading stocks, right? Versus trading options. I don't really have to have that time pressure on myself here to feel like it has to move right away. In theory, I can kind of just sit and watch. It's pretty nice. I mean, not when it goes back to 311, but everything else when it behaves is nice. Hey, Brian, if you're still on the stream, once this trade closes, I'll send you those signals, or I'll send you the DTR, we'll call it indicator. Yeah, so really it's just a way of me being able to filter out some of my potential setups, right? Particularly the BB reversal setup. So what I'm trying to do on those BB reversals, that's not perfect because it does kind of show up, but when I get that open outside, it's going to highlight the first red candle after a green candle. And in theory, right, if you're opening up outside the Bollinger Band, that becomes your entry signal. So it should just highlight Bollinger Band reversals and MA cross reversals and what's defined as a weak pullback after those events happen. So it's just trying to show you a breakout or a setup trigger has occurred, and here's a weak pullback. Now can you manually filter it out to suit your whatever eye? There's some things that are still like kind of broken, where it's like it should only be doing it when it opens up outside of the Bollinger Band or on like the first signal of the day, and there's still some kind of funky behavior there that I can't seem to quite figure out. So it's good for like 60% of stuff, I would say. Yeah, I would be surprised if they would, Jason. I would be very, very surprised. And if they do, right, dividends would be paid to Surge, not to you. But I would say that the entry zones is probably going to be of more value than the actual DTR signals. And DTR signals is more kind of like a way I like to backtest sometimes. Find a pattern and you kind of try to code it up to define the rules. But yeah, I would say the DTR entry zones maybe be more useful because that, if you're using your high of day or low of day, will make it really easy for you. Okay, if I want 2-to-1 risk reward, or I want 3-to-1 or 4-to-1, I can kind of map that out and have that set all the time, and that'll be a little bit maybe of a smoother process or smoother transition. I wouldn't say either of those tools that's the difference between a profitable member and an unprofitable member. But hey, the more tools you can have that makes your life easier, the better you'll be, or you should be as a trader if you actually put in the work. So what are the odds we get another 60 cents of follow through here? What are the odds, guys? Is it the 50-50 or what is it? I can't tell at this point. Okay, come on, 30 more cents. Let's go. 20 cents, 25 cents. Oh. 10 cents. Come on, you prick. Oh, there we go, guys. All right, so I've closed off a little bit, about half of my total position here now. Took a little bit more off there at that 310.20. And now let's see how much further follow through we can get. But yeah, closed half of my total position. Crushing it. Let's see how much further follow through we can get here now. Great trade, everybody. Great trade. Well done. So I've now closed about half of my entire net portfolio or net position here at 1R. So I'm up about net 1R here at this point, and now looking for sort of that lottery ticket follow through down towards low of day. Greg, you still in this trade with me, man? Let's go, Greg. Let's go. Love that. A slow mover, but I'll take this win all day long. Closed half of my position up $1.60 a share. I will take that. So next profit target here is going to be midline on the Bollinger Band, right? So we'll call it give or take about 309. Just round it up to the nearest round number. Like I said here, guys, right? Next target about 50 cents away here at 309. Yeah, great trade, everyone. Great trade. Best job in the world. Yeah, so my plan was to buy a fake out above high of day. So once I basically saw that price, basically a fake out get established, I'm basically just trying to get a fill as close to that then as possible. So we kind of got that fake out and I'm buying basically just the middle. So I'm then rounding down, picking the nearest number I can get. And that's essentially my entry trigger. Honestly, I would say that the way I pick my entry price is probably more elementary than you think. I'm mostly just trying to find the roundest number or the closest round number to where the basically thing sets up to a certain extent, right? So as much as I'm setting things up, I'm also trying to set things up to maximize my like execution speed, right? Setting the order up and things along those lines. So it's okay. Here I know I can set up my order 311.70, right? I know my stop loss is then 312.70, boom, 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 and then go. I actually have my order set for 311.75, I think. That's how I do it. Especially when I'm in that already like 4-to-1 risk reward zone, right? Here I don't need to be as specific because my margin for error here is exceptional, right? I can be 20% correct and still be profitable, or 25% correct and still be profitable. So I don't have to be as specific. When I'm then using the fibs, if my entry is like, you know, we talked about on this example, right? If this is my entry, then my entry price becomes whatever that green number is. So then I'm looking, okay, 309.20. That's going to be my entry. And I can kind of pick it that way. But if I'm in my risk reward zone already, and I'm confident in my setup trigger, and I have that 4-to-1 or whatever risk reward I'm kind of happy to go with, then I don't need to be necessarily as specific, because anywhere inside this zone, I'm pretty darn happy with my entry price. It's still about 50 cents away from that next profit target, 20 cents away, moving fast. There we go, 309. There we go, guys. All right, so I got about a quarter of my original position left. Great little rip, everyone. Great little rip. Let's go. Fuck, I love this job. Almost a 3-hour trade here, guys. Cannot complain about that on a Thursday. 2 trades this week. Very, very nicely green. Should have probably been 3 trades. I still can't believe I missed NVIDIA yesterday. But follow your process, right? Follow your rules. Think about being deliberate. Boom. All right, we're up green. Best job in the world. I'm gonna have to come up with a commission system for you, Jason. So any questions here, guys? I think it's time for me to start making some eggs here. I have about I'll call it a fifth of my original position left. So that's the roundest I can get it. So I'm just going to try to see how much further follow through I can get. If I can get towards low a day, that would be epic. But, I mean, I'm certainly not in a rush to give this up. Stop loss, we'll call it at 311 here. And, yeah, just make sure that if something does pull back, I'm not doing anything stupid. But, yeah, awesome trade here, everyone. Congratulations to everyone who played this. Yeah, great week here, guys. Great week. I appreciate that, Brian. You got any questions about this trade? You kind of get how it came together? Do you understand what the idea was, or just kind of get the flow of how things move? So the repetition will help a lot, right? So I wouldn't be too stressed about that. But like, I mean, privately, you're asking the right questions. We're talking about the right things. So I got no concerns. Yeah, I would have said you could definitely have played the same idea. The reason I liked Meta more than I liked Tesla's because I was at least selling it in a day where I saw a really high volume rejection. That was maybe a little bit more of an indication of trending price action. Whereas Tesla, I kind of have this candle here, which maybe tells me a bit more that dip buyers were still in control versus Meta maybe felt a bit more that sellers were in control. So the idea was pretty much exactly the same, right? Because you're still looking for like that 250 rejection, give or take, right? So we're basically playing the same thesis. But I would say that this was probably more like a B plus look versus Meta, maybe a little bit stronger, just because yesterday's selling pressure is a little bit clearer. So it makes it the easier indication of trending price action. So basically just look for that retest, right? That area you can't hold. We played that thesis pretty well. We just had to be a little bit patient for that zone to kind of come together. Let's just test something here. So what was my entry price? 311.70, right? So ultimately not a bad entry price. Does that make sense though, Jared? Like how I'm identifying that this is maybe a bit more of a trending candle than this Tesla one? Right? Just because we haven't really invalidated that hammer. Yeah. And I get you. Yeah. Nice, Jason. Very well done. So look, yeah, you're banking too, dude. We can't complain. Smiles and bells all around. That's perfect. All right, guys, be right back. I'm just gonna go toast my bagel here. Give me a few minutes. Still in this position, just trying to see if I can get a low a day touch now, pretty much. Hey, Terry, great to see you. What price did you get in at? That's fantastic work, Terry. Really, really, really well done. What'd you think of the course? How'd you find that? Was that helpful? I'm a Saint for tour guide, Jared. Do you have a preference? Good, good. That's why. Yeah, that's fair. Both of them are so close. Yeah. Oof. Good bagel in the morning, some coffee. Ooh, baby. But yeah, guys, not much else for me to do here this morning, right? Happy to just be sitting on hands here now, waiting to see if I can get further follow through. But fantastic trading, right? Basically a nice 3-hour win here today. So let's see if we can get a bit more. But I got nothing else to do here besides sit on hands and kind of sip my coffee and enjoy life. So if you guys have any questions, happy to answer them. But it's kind of more enjoy life mode here now versus doing anything more aggressive. To keep getting more follow through here, right? Low a day would be awesome. I'm not going to get too aggressive. I'm pretty stoked, right? So no reason to force anything wild here. Happy to be green, but all right, Brian, that's been sent over to you now. So just copy and paste that into your Pine editor from where it says version whatever onward. And then you should be able to add it to your chart without any issues. Hopefully that'll start to help you visualize some of the setups a little bit better. That's really what it's mostly designed for, I would say. Let's go, guys. Let's see how much more we can get here, right? Maybe take a little bit more off at 308. Half of what I have left, and then another remaining chunk at like 307. I got nothing else to do here. Okay, so watching 320, or sorry, 308. I'm gonna say 308.25. Like I said, guys, we're gonna close about half of what I have here, right? So not a very big chunk. Close about 2.5 lots. All right, everyone, if no final questions here, then I'm going to get close to wrapping it up. Hope you all had a fantastic session and crushed it on that meta trade here with me. I'm going to try to stretch this out, see if I can see that 308 here quickly. But yeah, hope you guys all had a fantastic day. Caught yourselves a nice win here and are nicely green on the week. Right, we had to be patient here today. Really took advantage of it, though, and got ourselves a fantastic win. So nice little BB reversal. Finding ourselves a clean setup that took advantage of the daily trend. 20 cents away from P&L target here, so let's see if we can hit it. But yeah, ultimately, really, really successful day here, everyone. So congratulations to those of you who played meta to the downside or even played Tesla. I know a few of you guys caught a big win there. For everyone else, looking forward to rest of the week, right? We're going to have a stream again tomorrow here, and that'll start at 8:50 Eastern. Same deal like always, right? If you have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, looking forward to a few of our one-on-ones here later today. Looking forward to getting a few of you involved in the funded program. So hope you guys all have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace. Oh, by the way, right? Stop loss at 311. Final profit target, low of day. I'm going to try to take some more off at 308 if I can. But yeah, I got nothing else to do besides watch here. So I'm kind of bored. Going to go take the dog for a walk and enjoy the rest of my day. So have yourselves a great one. Be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.